All right, this week on Jack and Jew, we have one of our all-time favorite recipes that we use probably about once a week.
Yeah.
In our homes, each of us. When we lived together, we used to make it all the time. And it's tasty. We're roasting chicken.
We're roasting the chicken.
Okay, first things first, we have taken our cute little chicken out of its wrapper and we have it on this plate because we are going to dry it off completely and then salt it all over with kosher salt. So we are doing what's called a dry brine.
So the first thing we need to do is dry this bad boy off. There we go.
We also have in this little bag the neck and the organs. We're gonna keep those. They're very nutritious and we're just gonna roast it on the side along with the chicken. You can put the organs and the neck into your stock when you make it after you roast your chicken.
And the reason that we want to get it so dry is that ultimately you want crispy skin.
Yes.
And in order to get crispy skin, you don't want there to be a bunch of water because then it will just steam itself. And so it needs to be one dry bird.
We want crispy skin.
Crispy skin or bust.
It's pretty much the only reason to eat a roast chicken.
True.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to rub in a ton of salt. And it's going to seem like more salt than you really should use, but trust us, this is really how much you should be doing.
True.
So I'm going to just get in every nook and cranny of this bird.
This is probably a tablespoon of coarse kosher salt. So.
You're doing inside and outside, really. You're a fine looking bird.
You're a fine looking bird.
We love this recipe because it without fail turns out perfectly every time. Every time.
I can't.
So this little lady is gonna go into the fridge for really as long as you can manage.
At least an hour.
At least an hour. The longer it sits, the drier it gets and the more the salt helps lock in all the moisture into the meat. So you can even leave it uncovered in your fridge for 24 hours, even 48 if you really want to.
Yep.
Bye.
So we toasted some fennel seeds, just brown them a teeny tiny bit, and then we're going to put them in our mortar and pestle.
Pretty much you can do any kind of rub that you really like. You can buy one from the store. You can even just do salt and pepper, but it's fun to kind of play with the flavors.
The sumac adds a lemony flavor, which is really nice with a roasted chicken. But yeah, like Julie said, salt and pepper, totally fine.
We might have said this before, but this is also an important note. This is a 4-pound bird and you want to get a 3 to 4 pound bird for this specific recipe.
Yeah, it's really important in order to be able to rely on the cook time that we're going to suggest.
Sprinkle this all over the bird. We are also going to put in our sumac.
Yummy, yummy. Just like a lemon.
Great, 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 great. Okay. I'm also going to chop up some vegetables to put around the chicken while it's baking. Now, you don't want to overcrowd the bird or else you can affect the cook time again. So I'm just going to cut up an onion into some nice little wedges and throw some whole garlic cloves around it as well. They'll get cooked in the juices and they'll be super tasty.
So I put this cast iron in the oven while it was preheating. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit of olive oil on the bottom. And
I don't do either of these things.
I was just gonna say, she's gonna stop me, interrupt me, and say that she doesn't do this. Oh my god, no. But I think it's good. What it does is it browns the bottom of the bird in a really nice way that I like.
My birds get brown.
Okay, so just lick this guy into here.
Don't forget the organs.
Ooh. It's also probably worth noting that we are not tying the legs, and we both just feel like this is only going to be in the oven for about 50-55 minutes, and so it's great. That's enough, that's enough. Yeah, 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 we are buff.
Maybe do a little olive oil. Sure. Toya's just gonna do a little bit of olive oil on the veggies I added in there. Oh yeah.
And a little on the chicken because why not? Can we say what temperature is that? 425.
Chicken's out of the oven. Now we're going to let it rest for 10 minutes at least.
At least.
We want all the juices to stay inside and not go everywhere when you cut into it. So let it rest. It's also going to carry over cook just a little bit. So that's why the 50 minutes is such a big deal, is that if it has to have a little bit more cook time, it happens right now.
Definitely nestled in with the onions and the fat.
Time to carve into this bad bitty. Oh, it actually is perfect.
It's perfect. It is so moist. Holy shit.
She good. All right.
Yum. You need to make this.
Tonight. Actually, no, tomorrow, because you're going to dry brine it tonight. Duh.
Oh yeah, actually just a little crispy bit.
All right. Impress your friends, impress your family with your new roast chicken skills. We'll be over here just eating it like this.